Hello, hello, hello. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's kind of on my mind and I don't normally get when, things blow up like this, and I'm never on the train that everyone goes to. They're on the ticket to being haters and being people who are just generally too focused on the things that has nothing to do with them. And I'm on the train to myself and looking for myself and then finding myself and then being happy. Most people don't take that route, but I'm proud to say I do. Now you're probably like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? So I'm gonna talk about this one girl that recently blew up this month, really, and you know, this is literally like every situation that has ever happened, but like I'm gonna recently use her, you know. Okay, so for one, I just want to get out the way that people are like really bad haters to people that they, for one, they don't know. For two, they have really nothing to hate about, and besides the jealousy part of it, and they're just bored. I, speaking from me in my experience, I only hate on people to troll. Okay, I don't do it for time. I'm not gonna post videos on TikTok to hate on a person. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you over something, because if I'm hating on you, it's mainly because I'm recording for like my YouTube or whatever. In other words, I'm trolling. I don't do this like in general. I don't sit there and pick fights with people for just for me because I feel like that's good. Like that's like you know, I don't do that. I am going to just troll and then move on with my life. Now, people think they do this. In reality, no, you're doing more than trolling. You're spending the majority of your time focusing on this person, and then it's a difference between trolling and then actually hating on somebody excessively. Now, the girl I'm talking about is Ashley Trevino. You know, by the way, this is lotion. But yeah. So recently, I usually avoid when things like this happen. Like Diddy, like I don't sit there and be like, oh, let me post a TikTok about Diddy. I'm not doing that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's crazy, and I move on. Okay, so when this Ashley Trevino girl, she, I've seen TikToks about her. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't really care. Like, who's a stranger? I don't care. And then my YouTube, she's like a video there, and it's like the worst title to ever put to somebody, like the truth, or like the monster Ashley Trevino, and like the thumbnail looked very like scary, like she was a scary woman, and like you know. So I click on the video. This YouTube dude, obviously he put a lot of effort making this video, okay? Because it's like phase one, phase two, phase three, middle part, last part, what she done, what she didn't done, who she's been with. Like, for one, I'm very intrigued, okay? And that's what I don't like to do, okay? I don't like to be intrigued into somebody else's business, someone else's life, okay? Especially if it ain't good, okay? It's especially if it ain't good. I stand on stuff like that because it's not my business. I don't give a fuck at all to care about that. I can look at it and be like, okay, yeah, damn, but I'm not focusing on it and posting videos about it. So, as for Trevino, who is she? She's a girl who's been labeled inmate hopper, terrible mom, or in just overall terrible person. Is what she's done. Now, I'm not gonna really be talking about like what she's done, because it's not even about her. It's just like I'm just using her as a what people will do to escape their own lives or what they got going on, rather then that's what they would do. That's what they don't want to do. So they would rather label this person as a certain thing and focus so much on their life and making their life hell and claim they want better for this person, but you know, you make her blow up on social media for her dating life, and firstly, I guess we are talking about her. Firstly, they don't want to blame the people that she's been involved with, like in a relationship. They don't want to say, well, this dude went to prison because of this. Not jail, prison. He did 5 years, not two, not 2 months. He did 5 years. Why would he do such a? Why are you getting 5 years? What did you do? So they don't look at the people she's been with. They look on why are you in a relationship with these prisoners, which is literally, I get it, but like, here we go with never you nobody blames the person who is not should be getting the actual blame or the full blame, I should say, and they go for that person rather than the obvious answer because of what exactly? Yeah, let's figure this out today. So yeah, that's what she's known. She was initiated. That I feel that people were saying that she was initially known for like these hopper. She was dating multiple in people who've been incarcerated. It's like, okay, so why are these why is these prisoners looking towards this woman with two kids, because they're using her. That's what it comes down to, using her. You know, they're using her. Nobody would be like, oh, damn, they're using this girl with two kids and stuff like that. Her life is a little fucked up, but they don't look at them people. They look at, oh, the yeah, she's dating people who's incarcerated. Yeah, she got used, but she should have been known. So how I look at the situation is, if she's even dating people like this and her whole history behind it, I wouldn't really be shocked for her to do this because of what she experienced. What people say, what she done, like, obviously she didn't have a good upbringing, so her dating these people, obviously she's not a good person, like not like the best person, but like I wouldn't necessarily say she's like the worst person ever because my mom dated my dad and he's a felon. Multiple people date felons, okay? So for you to, I mean, she's dating a felon, she's an inmate hopper. Clearly, if you put on your, she's looking towards these people because she can't get a man, so she feels like to get one, like they have to rely on her to do this, okay? And I'm not excusing whatever behavior you think she's done. I'm just like, this this is the person you blow up. Exactly. It's going to be the title of the video. You blow this person up. You look in their background and you expose them. You got the kids involved, even though you said you never wanted the kids involved. And then you trash the kids for looking ugly. And then it's just like, what do people get from doing this? From canceling people? What do you get? Why would I want to blow up a racist man? Well, what is that going to do? Oh, millions of people hate them for being racist. Okay, and like if you're focusing on somebody like this, you are a part of the fucking problem. You literally are. So what I'm initially saying is she's not in the right mind. So people need to stop acting like these people are in their sane mind because she's getting a lot of hate. Okay? Like a lot. And I do feel bad for her, but at the same time it's like, is there another option for her to do? No. You understand? I know I'm kind of rambling, but it will all make sense in the end. Okay, so yeah, you blow her up for being an MA hopper. Then you realize her background, because the dude when she dating, the dudes that when she's dating, incarcerated. You realize that this dude unalived two teenage girls. Okay, and obviously she's not the same person. So you know, you like instead of attacking the person who unalived these two underage girls, you go after the person who's dating them. This is like every single. You never go after the initial target. You go after their mother. Like that's exactly what I'm talking about. And she's getting money from this as well. So it's not like she's just like there to live the moment. She's getting money from it. So if you're trying to help Ashley Trevino or trying to help her be a better mom, do you honestly think sending her hates and giving her money for like her because you think that behavior is like entertaining and you're blowing her ex-boyfriends up and you're blowing her boyfriend up just to sit there and laugh in her face, do you think that's going to make someone like become better, or you think they're just going to become worse and money hungry? Exactly. Exactly. So there's a clip of her saying, oh, them girls deserve it or some type of shit like that, and it's like, yeah, oh yeah, that's kind of odd to be saying, but like yeah, it is bad. Are you gonna sit there and harp over it? Are you just gonna move on? Okay, so that's like another segment of her. And then like another segment of her is her children. Her children are under the age of 18, and when people realize she had children that lives with her, well, I wouldn't say live with her, but like bees at her house, people realize she treats them so badly, you know. And I see these clips and I'm like, what do you, is this what you consider bad? Because I've seen worse. Okay, and instead of giving her and showing her the right direction, you sit there and clown her. So whenever I'm getting clowned, I think I'm getting clowned because they're jealous, and that's what she says too. They're jealous with her long extra nails. Oh, they're jealous, because nobody has ever been like, yo, this is not what you should be doing, and let's talk about this, okay? Nobody sends her these DMs of saying this. They sit there and clown her, saying, you are really terrible. Look what you're doing to your children. That's not going to make somebody sit there and reflect about their actions. Constantly being heard, you're terrible, you're terrible, you're terrible. Um, that's not how I learned, you know? And I love how they don't do this to the people who actually need to hear it as well, like the actual vicious people, you know, like the Luigi man, the Luigi man. He unalived somebody in the daylight, and he gets made edits of. But this girl who clearly needs help, because they act like she was like brought up in this amazing environment, and she just chose this path. She chose to do this, and they just dog her. But she does not unalive anyone. it's it's so terrible, you know. So yeah, her children get brought into it. They people on the internet think her children is treated so badly. Son, so your mother is on live while you're telling her to get off. Oh yeah, she's a terrible mother. Oh, While you threw up, your mom is dancing on TikTok, even though that's her only choice, literally to make income that you made her get. Oh my god. So yeah, these children, when their TikToks got leaked, people are calling them ugly. Oh, they look just like her mother. You see, it's just people. There's never a win-win with these situations, right? These people, the strangers behind the screens who blow these people up on social media, who just to blow them up, to dog them and bully them, and people think it's okay because they're so called a bad person. When I have plenty of examples to share, and they're just a person who just needs help. Instead of helping them, you sit there and clown them, and oh, we're leaving you in 2024. No, let's leave that, what you're doing, and not minding your business and not actually helping the situation. Let's leave that in 2024. So, anyways, the children. When the children get revealed, they're ugly. I'm not saying this. People are saying this. Okay? They're covering their faces. Like, it's disgusting. I don't. When the children get involved, it's really disgusting. Okay? Because how you think you're helping the children by clowning their own mother on the internet? You think you're helping the children when you leak their face and people are calling them ugly? Because I guaranteed, oh, isn't your mom Ashley Trevino? Their lives are ruined now because you think you're trying to cancel a girl. Cancel her for what? To sit there and humiliate her and her children? And now what? What are you doing? Do you not have a life? And that's what it always comes down to. When people do all this extra shit, but when the main person that you should be doing this to, it is now too late because too many people are actually hurt. The people. Like Diddy, for example. But Diddy is turned out of a meme. That people don't actually, like, he's a terrible person. And they realize this way, way, way after the fact. And we'll talk about that too. So yeah, the children, and then the next part is like her 19-year-old boyfriend, which is just like, oh, okay. So I don't know where she meets this dude. I'm pretty sure at a bar or something. But like, this dude is dating her, then they're not dating, then they are. And it's very obvious that he's clearly using her for some type of clout. But they never sit there and be like, yo, what are you doing? You're using her for clout. It's obvious. They'd be like, oh, he looks like he's gonna cry. He looks so scared of her. She's like 4'11" and he's towering over her. He's using her for clout. For obvious reasons. Okay? And there's like random people around her that's also using her for clout and just making her look a goddamn fool. So I see, this is how you see it. I'm going to start with you. You see this woman as terrible for not taking care of her children and not spending her money on like things that should be used for her children. She's dates like inmates, and she has a 19-year-old boyfriend, and her ex-boyfriend that she has these children with recently died, and supposedly he said that she's a terrible person, but he was also in prison for doing something. So she's labeled a terrible person, getting dogged on the internet like crazy. I see her as a woman who needs to be guided in the right path, not only for herself but for her children. And dogging someone and bullying her and her children is not. It's me personally. That's not gonna help nobody. Yeah, the thing she does is terrible. Okay, but at the end of the day, what y'all doing on the internet is not okay. I see this girl with blonde hair. I'm gonna be telling you all I know about Ashley Trevino. It's crazy. New information about like that's. Do you not have a life? I'm never gonna sit there and like intentionally get famous over talking somebody on somebody's life that's not even good and is like not good. Instead of me trying to be like, okay, y'all, we need to stop dogging her and like try to get her some actual fucking help and getting on. People are knocking on her house. She got her kids there, like claim to fight her. Instead of like, you see, that's crazy. Instead of doing that, I'm just gonna continually watch somebody who could be guided in the right direction fall into the negatives. Meanwhile, A, B, and Z, but they're hot. They're hot. So I don't need to worry about him. So people do this quite often. They sit there and pick on people who they feel like is the terrible person, but not actual the terrible person. Instead of looking and identify the terrible person from a person who needs help, they sit there and label them a terrible person. But were they a terrible person to begin with, to even start? You better not. You better not. This is what makes people turn into more terrible people. Okay? Because of the hatred that they constantly receive in their life. And then when people, strangers come involved, if they get famous, it's just going to be more and more hatred. Brittany Spears. The hatred, you, because nobody really took her aside and been like, okay, girl, this is not okay. Nobody did that, and she had millions and millions of fans, and now she's sitting here dancing in her living room like a wacko. Because nobody, they act like they cared, but they really didn't. So you need to say that in the beginning, instead of leaving her for dead at the end, or leaving, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not excusing his behavior at all. Terrible, terrible life. Instead of people coming to him, be like, yo, this is, I think you're weird. You need help? They just watched his downfall. And now he's a murderer. Well, now he was a murderer. Same like every other bad person. Nobody sat there and stepped in. But I'm that person. I would do it for anyone. If I see you bad, I'm not going to sit there and like, I'm going to be like, do you really need help? And you can disrespect me, but I'm going to be like, yo, do you really need help? Because this this anger, this facade doesn't come from nowhere. Ashley Trevino. But instead of trying to help the situation to our children, like you really think you give a fuck about, but you don't, you sit there and attack her as she realizes she's getting money from this and more opportunities, no matter the hate. So she just continues to go live because she's making money. And honestly, who wouldn't? I wouldn't. Because that's what y'all do. Whoever y'all are out there who blow up these people to watch them get hated on and trying to help them, you don't. And you just sit there and bully them live. Now back to the racist thing. You can't excuse a racist, okay? But feeding into the anger and feeding into whatever they got going on does not help the situation. Now I'm not gonna say I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I might troll, but in reality I'm like, girl, you really need help. You're a racist in 2024. You need help. Or 2025. You can't help someone that you claim you're gonna help by attacking them and doing such and such. Now, if they're not listening, that's a different story. But it doesn't take, it takes a couple tries. At least it did for me. And the only person who helped me was myself. And I didn't even listen to myself or my self-conscious. Or, well, my inner self. I did. It took like the hundredth time to be like, girl, you need to stop what you're doing because this is not safe. Because nobody's truly evil. But if I guarantee if they had that person or somebody or millions of people coming to them instead of with hatred and trying to help them, it wouldn't it got as worse as it could get or going to get or has gotten. Because what is hate gonna do? Is it gonna turn them to a good person? This is what people do. They feed into hate and they turn this person into the most awful person ever. I was heading down that road. Hate. Let me tell you how much I hate you ever since I began to live. Do you understand? So, this Ashley Trevino girl, the people are terrible, okay? Especially to a stranger they don't even know. But yeah, you can see hate for a stranger. But like, the amount of hate that I've seen, and I don't even be on that side of TikTok, for that woman is unbelievable. Now I'm affected by it. I'm like, damn, like, damn. Like,